You might think your rabbit is living their best life, hopping around with unlimited hay and a cozy space to call home. But the truth is, your bunny could be stressed out of their mind right now, and you might not even realize it. Rabbits are prey animals, which means their entire existence is wired around one thing: survival. And that survival instinct never turns off. So let's talk about the hidden stressors that could be affecting your rabbit every single day. First up, let's talk about loud noises. To you, the sound of a vacuum cleaner or a door slamming might just be part of everyday life. To your rabbit, it sounds like a predator is attacking. Rabbits have incredibly sensitive hearing. They can detect sounds at frequencies we can't even perceive. Their ears are constantly scanning the environment for danger. So when you suddenly turn on the blender or start vacuuming near their enclosure, their heart rate spikes. Their body floods with stress hormones. They might freeze in place or bolt to hide. And here's the thing. This doesn't just happen once. It happens every single time there's a loud or unexpected noise. Over time, chronic exposure to loud sounds can lead to serious health problems, including heart issues and digestive problems. Now, you might be thinking, well, my rabbit seems fine when I vacuum. But that's the problem with rabbits. They're masters at hiding stress. In the wild, showing weakness or fear makes you an easy target, so your rabbit has learned to suppress their natural panic response. Just because they're not running around frantically doesn't mean they're not terrified inside. Pay attention to subtle signs. Are their ears pinned back? Are they hiding more than usual? Have they stopped eating as much? These are all signs that the noise in your home is taking a toll. Let's move on to something you probably never considered: your rabbit's living space. Specifically, the size of it. A lot of rabbit owners keep their bunnies in cages or pens that are way too small. And I'm not talking about those tiny pet store cages, though those are definitely a problem. I'm talking about spaces that seem reasonable but still don't give your rabbit enough room to truly behave naturally. Rabbits need space to run, to binky, to stretch out fully when they lie down. They need to be able to stand up on their hind legs without their ears touching the ceiling. If your rabbit is spending most of their day in a confined space, they're stressed. Their muscles aren't getting the exercise they need. Their mind isn't being stimulated, and all that pent-up energy has nowhere to go. Think about it from their perspective. Imagine being stuck in a small room all day, every day, with nothing to do and nowhere to go. That's what it's like for a rabbit in an enclosure that's too small. They can't escape. They can't explore. They can't engage in the natural behaviors that bring them joy and keep them healthy. And this chronic confinement leads to a whole host of problems: obesity, aggression, depression, and even self-destructive behaviors like excessive grooming or chewing on cage bars. Here's another big one: being handled incorrectly. I know you love your rabbit. I know you want to pick them up and cuddle them and show them affection. But here's the hard truth. Most rabbits don't actually like being picked up. Remember, they're prey animals. And in the wild, the only time a rabbit gets lifted off the ground is when a hawk or an owl has grabbed them. So when you reach down and scoop up your rabbit, even if you're gentle about it, their brain is screaming, "This is it. I'm being eaten." Their heart races. They might struggle or kick. And if you're not supporting them properly, they could seriously injure themselves trying to escape. But it's not just about being picked up. It's about how you interact with them in general, approaching them from above, making sudden movements, cornering them, not giving them an escape route. All of these things trigger their prey instincts and cause stress. The best way to interact with a rabbit is to get down on their level. Sit on the floor. Let them come to you. Let them sniff you. Investigate you. Decide whether they want to interact. Respect their boundaries. If they hop away, let them go. Building trust with a rabbit takes time, and it requires you to think like a prey animal, not a predator. Now let's talk about something that affects a lot of rabbits: loneliness. Rabbits are social animals. In the wild, they live in large groups called warrens. They groom each other, play together, sleep in piles, and communicate constantly. A solitary rabbit is an unnatural thing. If you have just one rabbit and they spend most of their time alone, they're likely stressed and lonely. You might think you're enough company. And while human interaction is wonderful, it doesn't replace the companionship of another rabbit. They speak the same language. They understand each other's body language and vocalizations in ways we never could. But here's where it gets tricky. You can't just throw two rabbits together and expect them to be best friends. Rabbits need to be bonded properly, which is a gradual process that requires patience and careful supervision. And both rabbits should be spayed or neutered, otherwise hormones will make bonding nearly impossible and could lead to fighting. But once you have a bonded pair, the difference in their quality of life is night and day. They're happier, more relaxed, and much less stressed. If you only have one rabbit, seriously consider getting them a friend. It might be one of the best things you ever do for them. Let's shift gears and talk about diet. Because yes, what you feed your rabbit can absolutely stress them out. The foundation of a rabbit's diet should be unlimited hay, not a handful of hay. Not a pile of hay that they finish by noon. Unlimited hay, available at all times. Hay keeps their digestive system moving, wears down their constantly growing teeth, and gives them something to forage on throughout the day. Without enough hay, your rabbit's gut can slow down or even stop completely, which is a life-threatening condition called GI stasis. And trust me, a rabbit with digestive problems is a stressed rabbit. But it's not just about hay, it's about what else you're feeding them. Too many pellets, too many treats, too much fruit, too many high-sugar or high-fat foods. These things wreak havoc on their delicate digestive systems. Rabbits are hindgut fermenters, which means they rely on a carefully balanced population of bacteria in their cecum to digest their food. When you introduce too much sugar or starch, that bacterial balance gets thrown off. Your rabbit feels sick. They might stop eating. They might develop painful gas or bloating. And all of this causes enormous stress on their body. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. Sudden diet changes are incredibly stressful for rabbits. If you switch their pellets or introduce a new type of vegetable too quickly, their gut bacteria can't adapt fast enough. This can lead to diarrhea, gas, or worse. Any dietary changes should be made gradually over the course of a week or more, giving their system time to adjust. So if you've been randomly switching up your rabbit's food or giving them whatever vegetables you have on hand without consistency, you're probably stressing them out more than you know. Rabbits are intelligent, curious animals that need mental stimulation. Without enrichment things to explore, chew, dig, and interact with, they become bored, frustrated, and stressed. In the wild, they forage, dig burrows, explore, and socialize. Domestic rabbits still have these instincts. Without proper outlets, rabbits develop stereotypies like bar chewing, over-grooming, or aggression. The solution is enrichment. Cardboard boxes, tunnels, digging areas, puzzle feeders, and safe toys rotate them regularly to keep things interesting. Slippery floors are stressful. Rabbits can't get traction on tile or hardwood, making movement frightening. Rugs, mats, or blankets provide secure footing so they can play confidently. Temperature extremes are dangerous. Rabbits handle cold better than heat. High heat with humidity risks heat stroke, while drafts or dampness in cold are also harmful. Provide cool spots, water, and insulated shelters. Predator stress is often overlooked. Dogs, cats, or even staring humans trigger fear. Supervise interactions, give rabbits safe spaces, and avoid prolonged direct eye contact. Rabbits need hiding spots like boxes, tunnels, or hidey houses with multiple exits to feel safe and decompress. Consistent routines reduce stress, while vertical spaces, like platforms, satisfy their instinct to survey their environment. Finally, autonomy is vital. Rabbits need choices in resting, playing, and interacting. Respecting their preferences reduces stress and promotes well-being. By addressing these stressors, enrichment, flooring, temperature, predators, hiding spots, routines, vertical space, and autonomy, you create a safer, calmer environment. A relaxed, playful, trusting rabbit shows your care is right.